Hello, everybody. What's up? My name is Gally.
Nine Night.
And welcome back to
Ace Attorney. A great Ace Attorney. It's a word that I forgot. Anyway. I think I forgot the too. Oh, well, anyway.
It changes with every title. The theft of the Koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Watson's murder.
Are you an idiot?
Like everybody else.
Of course it is.
That's the...
Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
And he would have gotten away too, if it wasn't for this meddling kid.
Or that meddling bitch. If she didn't kill someone, he would have been scot-free.
True.
Anyway.
So she's the dog then.
She is the bitch.
Well,
And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Bitch, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day.
But...
that face.
Is this a computer?
Ranosuke, what is the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming.
No, it's just... something about Miss Bitch's parting words there got me thinking. Can't quite work out what exactly. Something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. Well, yeah, it's not her steak.
If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard.
Sorry?
You can think later, but if you don't call it out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait. Miss Brett?
What is it now?
I'm afraid, just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago.
What are you talking about? What contradiction? What new student nonsense is this? Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ranosuke? If I just said it, I don't want to say it.
No, I was like, what is she talking about? Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. Yeah, that's not your steak. I'm going to need to see evidence, counsel.
You already saw it once.
If Miss Brett's words are truly contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it? Is it the steak or the picture?
It's a steak.
The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed. Yes, go on. More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed?
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah, she picked it up real
Not
quick.
true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
So you can do a quiet ouchie.
Oh,
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten.
No, it's interesting. At least to me. So, evidence for humans cooking their meat, up until recently, was not as far back as people assumed it would be, but they didn't have the evidence to prove it. I think it was... last year, they discovered that some evidence of fish being cooked. and 750,000 years ago.
I think you told me about this.
I don't know, maybe. I can't remember where it is.
You tell me a lot of shit!
Might have been Germany, but I could be wrong too. I can't remember. The point is, it was a lot farther back than we originally had evidence for, so that's cool. Anyway.
I'm just sitting here like, I don't have my phone to check for you.
Also, I find it funny that the evidence we currently have for the first, like, eaten cooked food was fish, when we eat fish raw these days, too.
Oh, sushi.
It's like, you didn't even have to cook.
God, no, not again. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Bitch. Noticed what, exactly? I'm constipated here. I'm getting agitated. Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did! She's a refined English gentlewoman herself!
And take a good look at this steak. In particular, the edges where it's been eaten. I'm just thinking about when I had my flipper in, and I would take it out to eat stuff. It's like,
That's okay. I have an overbite.
As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks in it. Oh.
It looks like Miss Brett has realized something.
So, if the witness, as she claims, wasn't contemplating eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was eventually... whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
It's already way past that point.
Afternoon tea.
Right, it's dinner.
No, it's like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Of course, this will be all over in the blink of an eye. Then again, in medieval times, dinner was like 3 o'clock. Anyway. Rest assured, I'm about to put this work... I've heard enough. Ooh. You irritating little speckled,
speckled samurai relic?
I didn't need to say it, neither do you. Of course, dear lady! What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have you rifled your feathers?
Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have found for her.
Renosuke, do you know where you're going with this?
Yes. Now at last, it's all come together.
We hope.
The mysterious teeth marks in the steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seemed to have disappeared. Most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Watson that day. I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, counsel. No, he said barbaric.
No, he said unnatural.
But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Watson.
No, it's a sad thing. As much as it'd be great for this case to end, there's no more Ouchie after this.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, don't worry, I'll find another way to make an annoying voice.
Oh, please don't. Hi, Queen Beryl.
Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today?
Tell me about it.
Queen Beryl or, Rita?
Oh, Rita Repulsa. She didn't have a mask, though.
She did have a funky hat.
But a very hot husband.
We were into some weird shit. Also, I realized something. Technically, that wasn't a hat. That was her hair all wrapped up.
It was?
I think I found that out like a year ago or something, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Really?
Which means she was gray. I still prefer calling it her hat.
Yeah, that's a hat.
Anyway.
Either that or Zed put her through the ringer.
It's Zed, so...
I said Zed.
No, I'm saying, like...
Sorry, Lord Zed.
No, being married to that man...
What the hell is even under that mask? I'll tell you, baby, it's not a mask.
Anyway, you wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase typical Japanese empty threats. How can you be so sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented to the court long ago.
Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been... What?
But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean the evidence does not exist.
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it.
I still sound very British. I don't, but there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about the case.
Who do you think has it? Do you realize what it is?
Is it the other steak? Okay. Who has it?
Who brought out the first steak?
Oh, Hosonaga. Duh. See, I was thinking it was him, but it's like...
I didn't even realize they were going to ask.
Just over one more.
I know.
Take that!
Because he took all the evidence.
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga.
Inspector Gadget.
I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous.
He is blood.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're a crime scene thief. Everyone's attention has been focused on this steak with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. And as well as admitting to stealing Kotoka's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Tension! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
That would makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table.
Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin.
Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest the thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Which you don't speak for. Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
I'm confused by her hand. Sorry.
She's wiping sweat away. You
Yeah,
said
but
that.
it's like... the amount of length where the pink covers versus where her palm. Anyway.
Exactly, Shirley. You're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over?
Shit, he actually figured me out.
You did switch the plates.
My God! After it happened, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was on an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my...
Marching to orders, sorry.
Okay. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off the kitchen, I seized my chance. Ugh. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one in the foreigner lady's table.
What?
You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing.
It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. Lightning Bolt! Lightning Bolt! It was do or die, I tell you, so yes, I did what had to be done.
Unbelievable!
And try not to be too loud.
I think you mean unacceptable.
I was going for that vibe, yes.
However, fear not, prosecutor son.
What now?
I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform, that is all I did, sir.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosanaga. What? Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both. Oh, Jesus. That's new.
Yeah.
She's eating her mask.
Oh, ripping it, but yeah.
That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually the victim's table on the precise moment he was shot.
What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat. It can't have the slightest bearing on the case. No, you're not wriggling your way out of this. Out of it this time, lady.
Jesus.
I beg your pardon. Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you? No? You're the ones who decided that it was a problem, not me. The reason the defense asked to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. Tisky thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Bitch. On the side of the plate there was on the table directly behind Dr. Watson. There was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound in the victim's chest.
I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it, the plate you were eating from, Miss Brett.
Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beef steak and plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir. Sorry for keeping you. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Here's the other steak in its plate. Finely cut. Please feel free to examine it.
And
This-
blood on it.
I was gonna say this raw, juicy sausage.
No.
The blood stain. It's clearly visible. Look! Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that the moment the victim was shot, facing the table with his back to me.
In other words, it's impossible for Nerudo-san to have shot the victim.
Stop!
It can't be!
In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Watson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. Jesus. That's right. Miss Jezebel Brett. It's you! Oh, it autosaved.
Oh, cool.
Are you having a heart attack, mistress?
I think her bird died.
Done by Japanese. Me. By a Japanese schoolboy. No.
No, he's alive.
Okay.
I'm constipated!
Is that
chick.
a baby?
Yeah. Is it more?
Is anybody gonna help her?
Hey, there's a little black one!
Is anybody gonna help her?
No.
What the flying fuck am I watching? Aw, can we keep them?
Thing is, if I remember. Yeah. How she gets a black one?
Can we keep them? They're so cute. Oh, I want one. I think the Oh, that's why it was constipated.
Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure.
She speaks for me.
Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth. Please.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using a cure. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for the one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of the poison would be found in his water? Because cure is unheard of here in Japan. Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of this water and it would be all over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table.
That would be me, I suppose.
Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you had decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. A plan to pin Dr. Watson's murder on this innocent man. I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage.
There should be
I had
marks
the
in
bottle of
mask.
Curol in my handbag. What?
There should be teeth marks in
It's
the
black.
mask. Or
It's fine.
tears. Something.
And my own pencil concealed under my skirt.
Under your skirt?
Say it.
No.
Why?
It's like this whole, there's these Texas Chainsaw movies, and in one of them, a girl, like, right in the
Yeah,
beginning...
that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about she had fucking pockets.
Oh, okay. Because, like, the girl was...
I know what you're talking about, but she had pockets.
Or the guy in,
Here's the thing. Up until about the 20s, or around that time where the gown, like, the outfit was meant to, like, be shapeless and all this, you had so much room for fucking pockets.
Okay. The only other thing I was thinking of is the guy from Pulp Fiction, I think.
Yeah, we're not going into stuff like that.
Hid a watch up his butt.
Yeah, okay, here, let me put it this way. I watched someone make a Victorian age gown, and they could fit a fucking wine bottle in their pocket,
Oh, wow.
and no one saw it.
That's impressive.
So they had fucking pockets.
And yet, these days, it's impossible to find girl pants with pockets.
Well, at least with decent pockets, anyway. It's all to do with the fact that the style at the time is, like, form-fitting, whereas in, like, older times, you changed the form of what you were wearing to make the form that was appealing, rather than trying to alter your own body to fit the clothes. You altered the clothes to fit the desire. There was a lot of boob pads and butt pads, let's put it that way.
Keep going. So there were two guns.
Yes.
And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Place where you were sure I would notice it.
And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up,
That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point he was already dead.
naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared.
Obviously, I assumed Naruhito-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside.
That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around. Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Watson from where he picked up the gun.
Jesus, they're standing far apart now.
Yeah.
I don't wish to be associated with you anymore.
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor.
You serious, bitch?
Your Excellency,
Yes.
I wonder, might I speak with you in private later?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhito-san.
Absolutely not. But I am keeping these babies. She would ghost the whole time.
If only.
It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be! Takatsuchi Aji does not lose! Not to the likes of this rookie student!
I think I've become a bishop.
You'd better start getting used to the tough opposition.
Ranosuke Naruhito!
Yeah?
This insult to the Aoshi family name will never be forgotten!
You've become conceited with age, Counsel, but the old have to stand aside to make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that.
Oh. He cuts his hair.
Yeah.
I thought he did it. Like, I thought he did it to himself.
No. 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Ouchi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. Which is true.
I think you mean the Phoenix clan.
No, the right clan. Phoenix is his first name.
Shit.
See, you were just wrong there.
I am a lefty. I can never be right. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryanosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. Thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unveil the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But in the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice.
Wasn't it? Yeah. The Japanese are the ones who discovered how to use superglue to make fingerprints revealed on objects that normally you could not get fingerprints of. Like on plastic bags and stuff.
A new future of law awaits, but it will look like I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Hosagi? Asogi.
Yes.
After this trial, you are to set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world than you are able to, and for the love of God, bring all the cheese! And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you, bringing me cheese! That face!
I understand, Your Excellency.
That's perfect. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? What's wrong with cheese?
Never mind.
As for you, Ryanosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes? In you, I sense, how can I put it? Unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onward. Thank you, Your Excellency. I am the witness. It is time to deliver the final verdict.
Finally.
The final verdict. I turned Western. I hereby find the defendant, Ryanosuke Naruhodo, not
guilty!
Oh, Sakura flowers. Or petals. Yeah, actually, that's around the season it's going to be soon.
It's November.
No, I'm talking about in real life.
The court is now adjourned. Well, yeah,
It's
in
almost
real life,
Sakura season.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's still more talking. Don't stop.
Fuck. 22nd November, 2:46 p.m. Space Colony, Ark. Supreme Court of Judicature. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened.
I can't believe you haven't shut up yet.
I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. It only took 2 months.
Ryanosuke,
Wait.
you finally pulled it off, and it took longer than that. I believe we started in August.
Oh god, I don't know. I know we took like a fucking
We took a
break in
break.
December to January.
But it's still been months. And months.
I get through a game every time we get through a trial. God, I hope that's not the case.
No, I think this might be the longest one, but also that's a possibility depending how long of those games are. If they're really short ones, it's guaranteed.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kasuma.
Ha 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 ha! No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume, University Street, don't you forget?
You thought it was a pleasure to watch me work? Daddy?
Why did you have to get that close to say that?
Good afternoon. All of your hard work has certainly paid off.
I still have to...
You suddenly have your father's voice, I see.
I have to figure out her voice now. Let's see. Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruto-san's innocence. Our trusty judicial assistant, you worked so hard for that result too, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything.
Thank you so much. If it hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how long things would have turned out.
Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to university and investigate.
Your father? Ah, yes, of course. The third member of that cheese wheel.
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, there we go. Assistant to the defense. But why did we need that flashback anyway?
Speaking of Mikotoba... Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order.
She looks so unamused.
Oh, Father, you and your cheese. Naruto, you did an excellent job.
Father, you wouldn't spend so much time in the bathroom if you stopped with the cheese.
Girl, your third father is now dead. I will cry in that bathroom as long as I want.
I thought you would have cried in the judge's room.
That's for later. We're going to be spooning.
Yes, you do
Thank
make a great little spoon, don't you? Sorry.
Thank you, Professor, for that riveting story. Oh, no, it was I who should be thanking you. I needed to get that out of my system. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Didn't you just say he was one of your lovers? Oh, yeah, you mentioned that in grave detail. It was you who actually invited Dr. Watson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right.
Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Watson.
Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. And schnogged in that closet on the regular.
Father, I will beat you.
Oh, you worked together.
I've never heard you mention that before.
Well, it was a long time ago now. So scandalous. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Take Ryanosuke with you and find a British lover who can provide you with all the cheese.
What if we don't like cheese and we like something else?
Unacceptable.
Look, what if we like something else but still import cheese for you?
Possible. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot of cheese.
Actually, I do believe UK would not be the place for cheese. Anyway.
I will. I'll learn what I can about this cheese of yours. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asoge clan.
You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? I mean, I guess that would be understandable, because...
Of course I am. A Japanese man, katana, has sold the blade, shows me where I need to go. It cuts down anything that's in my way.
I mean, if they're not gonna say anything about the fact that English people are bringing guns, the English should not complain that we bring swords.
Guns are hidden easier.
Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it already is with my own eyes. And that's not the sword I mean.
That reminds me. What's happened to that woman? To the bitch, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder.
Ah, yes, her. We're going to strangle her with her own stockings. I mean, it's not easy to tell you, but, what do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. Shanghai? Jezebel Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? But why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Oh, shit, I thought it was the judge.
Yeah, I knew it was one of yours, though.
Inspector Hosonaga. Bow. It was a hard-fought battle in that courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate... But what's this all about consular jurisdiction? We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. We can't try her? But then who? Who's going to bring her to justice?
A British consular court will hear her case somewhere far away from where our voices can't be heard.
Why a consular court?
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the friendship treaty.
Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right.
Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that.
Oh, can't they?
Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on.
So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe this. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreigner student committing murder very seriously. Still constipated. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. I'm not going to fart out swan babies. Stop looking at me like that.
But I wanted a black one.
This is a time for
And now she stole it.
great turmoil. This new era heralded by a start of 20th century. Of the swan. Of the black swan. One day, I have no doubt. That woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Get Kratos in here. He'll blast her with judgment.
Someone's been playing a lot of Tales of Symphonia.
I eventually want to play it for the channel.
I know, eventually.
After all of this, because
Yeah, it's a long ass game too.
In the original, at least on the GameCube edition, it was 2 separate discs. Blue and red. They were very pretty.
Hi. Anyway.
Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it.
I can't drive.
Neither can I.
Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink.
Does it mean it's over?
But, Professor,
You're right. There's no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryanosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun.
in that case, might I suggest Le Carnaval? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you? I'm still dying. Let's not worry about details for now. I have the training. Will you be accompanying us, Professor? Of course, Le Carnival's cheese is second to Watson's.
I shall go and attend the paperwork for Naruto's every Sans release. Why is it saying her Sans in her voice? Makes my tongue go that.
Yeah, thank you. You might want to attend your crying father.
No, I shall not.
So Jezebel Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Watson. Kazuma.
Yes, Ryanosuke?
I just wanted to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin today.
I didn't do such a thing. Okay, the laugh. I can't do laugh with him. It just doesn't seem right to laugh like that with him.
Maybe it should be more maniacal. Considering.
Exactly. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work.
Your skills made the difference, though. One day I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world.
I'm not so sure about that.
It's like you know you're gonna die.
To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me.
What? Come on, be serious.
If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have the natural talent for it, for being a defense lawyer, I mean.
You mean bullshitting?
Yes.
Oh no, not me. All the tense verbal combat, I never want to go through that ever again.
No, I had a teacher in high school say that you can only bullshit if you have a basic understanding of the knowledge of the subject.
I mean,
Otherwise,
that's true.
it just doesn't make sense.
Or hope to God that your opponent doesn't have any fucking idea what you're talking
yeah,
about.
but you have to have some way to piece things together to make it logical, or the bullshitting doesn't work.
I did what you told me to do. Like always. Because I knew I could trust you.
That's the point.
Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point?
Listen, Ryanosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win?
Knowledge of the law?
No, the ability to believe.
To believe? To believe what?
That's
You
a good
can
song.
choose to dream!
A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. I was thinking of Believe from Imagine Dragons. It's a good song. Anyway.
I was thinking of the old commercials from the 90s.
Oh, and then there's that Believe that was in the Olympics, that song. Anyway.
Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it.
I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to... That's Apollo. You have to make a choice about what you want to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in a courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in, even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person.
Huh. Believing in your client.
Just look at us today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me.
Well,
You face seemingly hopeless in situations time and again, but you never stopped for looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me.
Thanks, Kasuma. Just kiss already, would you?
That's for the boat ride. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me.
Sounds serious. What is it? Ah, you're still here, aren't you? Excuse me, I was dying in the corner.
Then go back to dying in the corner.
I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go.
Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now your first court victory.
And your study tour to Great Britain. Don't forget.
Ah, yes, that too.
Seems minuscule compared.
Finally!
So my very
the
first
trial
trial
came to an end!
So my very first trial came to an end. Kasuma, Professor Mikotoba, Satsuno-san, who acted as
Susato.
Susato-san, Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much a part, but still. That's so rude! It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. That's so rude. Well, more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. Can we please be over? Please. Oh my god, finally. Oh! Let me go join Mikotoba in crying my eyes out. Oh, I fucking hated this.
Anyway.
Next time we finally move on.
Yep, so. Don't drop your headphones.
This has been Gally.
This has been nice.
See y'all next time.
Bye bye, everybody.